ladies and gentlemen, the leadership of the New Patriotic Party is pleased to have you in attendance for this press conference despite the short notice. Ordinarily, given the demanding nature of our national campaign, the New Patriotic Party would have ignored the NDC for yet again another needless demonstration in their desperate attempt to make a mountain out of a molehill regarding the Provisional Voters Register for the 2024 general elections. However, as the governing party in Ghana, the New Patriotic Party is a major stakeholder for all election-related matters and cannot be silent on issues pertaining the 2024 Provisional Register. Even more so, the NPP's position on the subject matter has become necessary following an open invitation from the NDC for our opinion. In a post made on his Facebook wall on September 6, 2024, Dr. Omane Boama, Director of Elections for the NDC, questioned the loud silence of the ruling New Patriotic Party on alleged discrepancies with the Provisional Register and insinuated that we, the New Patriotic Party, stand to benefit from the manipulation of the register and electoral processes. In view of the above, the NPP, as an important and legitimate stakeholder of election-related matters in Ghana, has every right to share its opinion on the Provisional Voters Register. As all of us are already aware, the Opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, on Tuesday, September 17, 2024, embarked on a nationwide demonstration against the Electoral Commission, or what they have termed as alarming irregularities, discrepancies, and unauthorized manipulation of the Provisional Voters Register for the 2024 general elections. It is worthy of note that before their demonstration, the Electoral Commission of Ghana granted a stakeholder meeting with the NDC on Friday, September 6, 2024, after the NDC had requested for a meeting in a letter dated August 27, 2024. The meeting accorded the NDC an opportunity to present their concerns of alleged discrepancies regarding the 2024 Provisional Voters Register to the EC. It is also public knowledge that during the said meeting with the Electoral Commission, the NDC indicated that they had identified 5 issues with the Provisional Voters Register, details of which include missing names and photos of registered voters, misplaced voters transfers, deleted names of registered voters, unidentified voters transfer path, and unauthorized voters transfer. On the basis of the above concerns regarding the Provisional Register, the NDC employed the Electoral Commission to accept an independent forensic audit of the Provisional Register and read Exhibit same. Ladies and gentlemen, we can also not run from the fact that during the September 6, 2024 meeting, the EC requested the NDC to furnish it with details of all discrepancies it had identified. To date, the NDC is yet to submit such information to the Electoral Commission. Friends from the media, during the 6 September 2024 meeting with the EC, and as detailed in their petition to the Electoral Commission on September 17, 2024, the NDC, on the basis of their own established discrepancies within the Provisional Register, is demanding the Electoral Commission to do the following: permit an independent forensic audit of the voters register and its IT system, convene stakeholders meeting, agree to publish findings of the forensic audit, re-exhibit re-exhibit the register after forensic audit, review and correct all unauthorized transfers, adopt a revised timeline for electoral activities, and institute accountability and integrity measures. The position of the New Patriotic Party. We in the MPP will be hypocrites to suggest that the NDC acted wrongly by engaging the Electoral Commission with their concerns pertaining the 2024 Provisional Register and other matters of electoral concern. Historically, the New Patriotic Party has been known for being lead advocates and crusaders for most of the electoral reforms that have positively shaped our nation's democracy. From campaigning against the use of opaque ballot boxes to demanding the introductions of voter identification cards with pictures and the usage of biometric verification devices, the MPP has always been at the center and front of advocacies that seek to guarantee free, fair, and transparent elections. However, many Ghanaians and the MPP cannot comprehend. It's why the NDC has still not submitted to the Electoral Commission detailed information of its so-called irregularities, discrepancies, and unauthorized manipulation of the provisional voter register, despite several appeals by the EC. For instance, in page 2 of their petition to the EC, the NDC stated emphatically that they have uncovered evidence of 243,540 illegal transfers, 3,957 deleted names of voters, as well as over 15,000 unidentified voter transfer paths in the provisional register. Yet, 13 days after the NDC first met the EC on September 6, 2024, they have still not provided a single document to authenticate any of these allegations. We ask, is this not interesting? Indeed, if the NDC have any evidence of illegal transfers, why have they not submitted evidence of such an illegality to be reversed by the Electoral Commission? We believe strongly that the nationwide demonstration by the NDC would have been justified had the EC failed to act after receiving evidence from the NDC on the alleged irregularities and discrepancies. As many of you will attest to, the NDC has a despicable reputation of throwing allegations around without any substantive evidence. It will be recalled that following the close of polls for the 2020 general elections, the NDC, through several media engagements, declared former President Mahama as winner of the elections. At this time, we will let you watch a video by the NDC.
Thank the electorate for giving us a working majority in Parliament. 140 seats in Parliament, which is a majority. And no attempt should be made to subvert that. I've looked at the results we've collated so far, and I'm excited, I'm happy with the results. And we won in 10 regions out of 16, and the Ghanaian people have expressed confidence in us. We would resist any attempt to subvert the will of the people.
Have won this election by some 6,166,385, and that constitutes 50.15%.
Allow me to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to you for your tremendous support, which you expressed overwhelmingly and convincingly at the polls. There's no doubt that Ghanaians from every region of this great nation of ours voted for change. And we did so in both the presidential and parliamentary elections.
He has won 141. That puts us in a clear majority and will be giving President Mahama the needed majority in Parliament to be able to conduct his business as president. What the clear majority
presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, who is the president-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will address the nation and speak to issues pertaining to the presidential results declared by the Jim Mensah Bosmanasare-led Electoral Commission. That's announcement number 1. Announcement number 2 is that the MPP still has parliamentary majority as we speak. The NDC, the National Democratic Congress, is still holding on to its parliamentary majority, as our General Secretary stated. As we speak, we know that we have won 140 seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, our collation so far indicates that our presidential candidate, President John Dramani Mahama, is ahead, and we are expecting that the Electoral Commission will very soon come out to declare him the next president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
Let me repeat. Let me use this opportunity to, as a matter of urgency and importance, call on the outgoing president, President William Akufo-Addo, to concede defeat in the interest of our sovereignty, in the interest of the sanctity of our democracy, in the interest of the very people that he claimed he wants to fight for. He must concede defeat, and it's very important. Let me
declare presidential results. Apart from chairperson of Electoral Commission. But Ntiasia Semunyane say Electoral Commission no fa presidential results no free soro emesi form. Every the various polling stations bia so you declare results no. And until the results are actually declared at the polling station. It is a Electoral Commission for declare no ho na wo copies ya. Okay, can you see animu a wusu timi hu figures ya eko nationally. Enti ye ka say ye figures ya pick from Electoral Commission polling stations across the country no kire say President Mahama odi animu a obedi nkunim. Na the AC our parliamentary level no there. Enye ye ni aye ye ni aka. Results are pick from Electoral Commission returning officers ya wo mo declare yanko for no winners already no 141 there. Yansaka. Enu nti ne ka say control parliament. Enti no
On this note, let me announce to all our supporters that you are free to jubilate. You.
After the EC's official declaration of the results, the NDC suddenly alleged rigging and urged their supporters to demonstrate on the streets and also refrain from recognizing President Akufo-Addo as winner of the elections. Some of the demonstrations, as we witnessed, nearly turned bloody, and their hoodwink supporters assaulted security personnel and innocent Ghanaians with various harmful objects. As fate would have it, when the NDC finally had their day in court, their current national chairman, who was at that time the general secretary of their party, could not tell the Supreme Court the total votes that were amassed by the NDC and the total valid votes that were cast during the elections. And here is a video of Mr. Esiedu Ketia.
Now, in all the figures that were mentioned as the valid vote cast and all those things, you were saying if the figures were correct, and that there were inconsistencies in the figures, I want to ask you, Now, in your own calculation, what were the total valid votes cast in the presidential elections on 7 December 2020? In your own calculations. My Lord, those calculations are reserved for a meeting for us to reconcile the figures, because the first respondent herself keeps changing the figures. And so it says, when you bring your...
Excuse me, Mr. Ketia, help the court. You see, when you started giving evidence, you said you had all representatives across the 275 constituencies. You said you put agents as, to use the... Yes, and they were to, collect the figures. You said it. Then he's asking you that from that, what figure did you get? You.
My Lord, I haven't brought that figure to court.
Okay.
Then, from your own calculations, what were the valid votes cast in favor of the petitioner, to your knowledge? My Lord, when we discovered this discrepancy, it was difficult to even know which figures are.
You don't know, you just answer. You don't know.
I don't have them here.
Okay, then the last one.
What figures from your own calculations did the second respondent get as the total valid votes cast in his favor? My Lord, I don't have those figures here.
Thank you.
It even becomes more interesting with revelations that were made by Mr. Isiedun Ketia during his campaign for election as national chairman of the NDC in 2022, when he boldly told a gathering of his party supporters that the NDC's own collated results for the 2020 general elections would have disgraced the party in court. The reason he lied to the justices of the Supreme Court that he could not furnish them with figures of the party's collated results. Yet again, let's listen to.
Nante boame na yempe NDC font ma godon ka say NDC for yebeto abey entro no mudi midi me bought about 3 videos na e da pa NDC font ma no pay me ndi kan fi see nkete o national chairman on you see on LED entro ka say ye Supreme Court no in some way see nkete re ko tudwa asante me ndi kan pa see di nkete hontuma ye wi a ato force so na no call parliament e ko di intro enti no so be pa na hontuma na ye da certify asante ni kan fa I said in Ketia Supreme Court elections are ye can was me any results ninti ye ni abrea ye can was no e sad ye wentia because on be sad ye we ya no mo read genuinely on my babontin abeshitai create problems
congratulate obi so wi no munimi yo onimi omo be na je do want o man congratulate Dr. Bomi akra say electoral commission
e kanoni ntuman ko asa kada bia na ye grasa fo asante me mo no sesia na say time e ye tia okay yen komra ha yen mo nsia
to say me ko jina daka bo bon fa results mra na me fa ngwa results wa mo de man me say wo di jina daka ba bia say wo di fam dia wo din be guase enti which means fast and anya vamos ser minha eu conto lá a chica tá a minha sua assado eu já semana que já sei que tá uma semana essa de comer a chica tá eu corro já mano não sei ver uma a minha tia oferece assim como de so we do a plant já minha mãe se não na mundo cocote dia no copé mo ya na me de minti no yes ai anuti ne ko cocote a mo bi sha se me resource wo here ka se fa resource bi ya
gono enda sebre
nipa
entro na ye ka ho asem no
It is obvious from Mr. Isiedun Ketia's own admission that the NDC knew from their own collated results that they had lost the 2020 elections. friends from the media, it is obvious that as a country, we have allowed the NDC to get away with so many lies and deceptions. Lies that nearly tarnished our enviable democratic credentials in the 2020 and in some instances threatened the peace and security of our dear republic. Undoubtedly, the recent outburst by the NDC regarding the Provisional Voters Register is just another grand old NDC strategy of lies and deceptions to court public sympathy and support in an election year. We are cautioning the public to be aware of the NDC's crafted false narrative of an opposition party being cheated by a state-controlled electoral body. We are, as New Patriotic Party, challenging the NDC to submit not only to the Electoral Commission, but the media and general public their so-called evidence of alarming irregularities, discrepancies, and manipulations of the Provisional Register. As remarked by the Justice VCRAC Crab-led panel on the Biometric Voters Register, which was constituted by the Electoral Commission in 2015. And I quote, "The veracity of the register of voters depends on the honesty of all citizens of Ghana," unquote. At least, for once in our lifetime, the NDC must be honest with Ghanaians. The NPP finds it difficult to comprehend the call by the NDC for an independent forensic audit of the Provisional Register for the 2024 general elections on the basis of alleged errors and discrepancies. Ladies and gentlemen, in addressing the critical matter of this nature, the law and history must always serve as a guide. The constitutional instrument on the registration of voter, CI 91 as amended by CI 127, anticipated such errors and made provisions for remedying any such occurrence. For emphasis, CI 127 makes provision for the resolution of discrepancies such as inclusion of omitted names, removal of names of deceased voters from the register, correction to wrong spelling of names, correction to wrong registration center codes, replacement of poor quality voters' ID cards, and also makes provisions for the transfer of voters, special voters lists, and objection to names of unqualified voters on the register. Hence, the identification of any of such errors in the Provisional Register does not call for an independent forensic audit as being demanded by the NDC. A careful study of the petition submitted by the NDC to the Electoral Commission vis-a-vis the provision of the CI 127 establishes one undisputed fact that there is no need for an independent forensic audit of the Provisional Register, as the existing electoral laws offer a clear pathway to resolving concerns raised by the NDC. It is worthy of note that when the NPP, Let My Vote Count Alliance, and a host of civil society organizations made a clarion call for an independent forensic audit of the voters' register in 2015 on the basis of so many errors and discrepancies in the voters' register, the VCRAC Crab-led panel made the recommendation that, and I quote, "The Electoral Commission has always had the constitutional mandate to take the ultimate decision," unquote. The position of the panel was supported by Mr. Johnson Esiedi Ketia, the then General Secretary of the NDC, in his presentation of a paper on the integrity of Ghana's biometric voters register, insisted that the EC, by tradition and convention, keyword, tradition and convention, has always been able to cure errors and discrepancies in the voters register. Further, Mr. Esiedi Ketia is quoted on page 20 of the panel's report that cleaning the voters register can be done using existing mechanisms. The exhibition procedures, challenging and objecting to names of unqualified persons in the register, quote and unquote. Further, He boldly stated that, and I quote, the process of deleting deceased person from the register is a process of exhibition of the register. The main purpose of the exhibition is for us to raise objections to people whose name are there which ought not to be there. There are forms and means of processing those objections that will lead to deletion of those names, and it includes the deletion of names of dead people too. So opportunity is given for people to present evidence. Because, let's face it, the environment we are operating in, if you say people should go and pinpoint the names of dead people for deletion without evidence, I will go and pinpoint Kwabena Japon's name and say he is dead. And there was laughter. And this is the video to the statement by Mr. Isiodun.
If the process of deleting deceased persons is the process of exhibition of the register. After every provisional register is compiled, it is exhibited. Before we go into any elections, the register is exhibited. And the main purpose of the exhibition is for us to raise objections to people whose names are there which ought not to be there. There are forms and the means of processing those objections that will lead to deletion of those names. And it includes the deletion of names of dead people too. So opportunity is given for people to present evidence. Because let's face it, the environment we are operating in, if we say people should go and pinpoint the names of dead people for deletion without any evidence, I will go and pinpoint Kwabena Japon's name and say he's dead.
You can all see in the video the position of the NDC in 2015. It is clear that there are existing protocols to rectifying errors in the provisional register, and paramount to such protocols is the need for stakeholders to submit to the Electoral Commission an evidence of registered voters who should either be added to or deleted from the provisional register. On the basis of the panel's position and that of the NDC, which was communicated by Mr. Isiodun, the MPP and other stakeholders abandoned their quest for an independent forensic audit of the 2012 voters register and agreed to the use of voters exhibition exercise to address our concerns. In view of the above, we want to ask the NDC what has changed. Why are they running from that tradition and convention? If there was no need for an independent forensic audit of the register in 2015, why should it be done now? In playing the devil's advocate, let us even admit that there are errors with the provisional register. We humbly ask, how can such errors be corrected when the NDC are refusing to present evidence of errors to the Electoral Commission, the body clothed with the legal authority to supervise the compilation of the voters register? Ladies and gentlemen, we can equally not forget the words of former President Mahama, who in October 2015 stated that the Electoral Commission is an independent body mandated by law to decide what to do. So is a video of Mr. Mahama. Let's come.
It's not my job. We have an independent electoral commission, and the electoral commissioners have security of office. Once they are elected, the president cannot remove them. I'm not supposed to interfere in the work of the electoral commission. And so, really, asking me this question, I don't know what to say. If the electoral commissioner was sitting here, you could ask her, what are you going to do about the electoral list? But I have no right to interfere in that electoral. Ghana has an electoral commissioner that is independent and does not, consult the president to do anything. What she's got is she's got an inter-party advisory committee that is made up of representatives of all the political parties. And so as far as I know, she called a meeting of that committee and asked all of them to bring their views. And they were supposed to present their views by the 22nd of September, and based on the views that they will present, a decision will be taken on what to do with the electoral register. It's a relatively young register because we used it for only one election, and it was a register that was biometrically compiled. And what we've done in the past is when you have a young register is to clean it up. But one party says they want to scrap completely and a new register, compiled. We have to look at whether they have a case, and that's why they are supposed to present their view. But they've not really presented their view, they've been holding demonstrations and so on and so forth. So it's for the Electoral Commission to decide what we need to do. It's not my job.
So, Mr. Mahama, why are you and the NDC not allowing the Electoral Commission to decide what to do, but are embarking on demonstration? Hence, in our view of the above, it is hypocritical for the NDC to be ordering the Electoral Commission to conduct an independent forensic audit of the provisional register. Friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, I will conclude my statement by referencing page 70 of the report by the 2015 VCRAC CRAB-led panel on the biometric voters register, which states that, and I quote, political parties and all citizens of Ghana should exercise vigilance and maturity when the provisional registers of voters are exhibited so that they can check the entries and thereby help the Electoral Commission to have a register of voters as credible and as clean as possible. It is a shared responsibility, unquote. We ask, where lies the commitment of the NDC to help the EC produce a credible register when they are refusing to submit evidence of an alleged irregularity to the EC? In view of the submission made by the New Patriotic Party, it is obvious that the recent agitations by the NDC pertaining the 2024 provisional register is needless, deceptive, mischievous, and a deliberate attempt to create tensions in the country, knowing very well that they are bound to lose the 2024 general election. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much. Enyano eni adofo mu a yehia mu ahawie yi mama kwa baba Osun Kokoko na Mayoko no headquarters. Ene adekronti a ya frɛ Mon Central for ne sɛ yenyina nim enkomo a ekoso e Ghana ha a ipeku edi animu osa nkomo wi eye the National Democratic Congress efa Electoral Commission Provisional Voters Register omoka ho asem. Kan PP there, kan NDC for ene ka omasem, kan fa ye ho. Nenso so enam se ye wa ba mu ne yesa ye key stakeholder e wa bato on sensem o Ghana nti. Na yesa ye ba bonten, na yesa ye kire adwen ye kasa fa ho. Enkanka se NDC Director of Elections, Dr. Mane Boama, a true challenge say adna MPP ya din ayen kasa. Edi kan NDC for yenyanim say ebnade atwam September 17th ye kire Electoral Commission no. Na sema no mo kan ene say Electoral Commission Voters Register no ensem bibiri ho a omo hwe a say the Electoral Commission ye no Electoral Commission pre koti kwan bi so ewi abanum e da boa MPP for. Na ni nyina so ye be kai a September 6 na Electoral Commission for Atromonsa friend this for a omo no omo ye nhyiamu enam NDC nsem a no omo ka se omanya njina so bi e kire se nkofo bi a omo wu edin wo Electoral Commission Provisional Register nim ene nkofo bi a omo nim ho hwe ni a transfer omo vote every komo constituency. Sa meeting no course no Electoral Commission eda abontin say omo busa NDC for say enyina so omo de ba no omo fa momo no omo so nya kwan enhwehwem. Me no ka say from 6 September Electoral Commission demanding from NDC for say omo fa nyina so ma no omo fa mai. Electoral Commission adwuma omo ye say omo hwe say abato be koso no ye MPP for so you interest from say be hwe say asundwe o mem ha no so e betena say akoso. Esema NDC for kano eyade a eye nwanwa papa as a political party. Ninya free say NDC for dance to be bia di Ghana ha yanhwe ni ya edoye ni beba o mem ha. Say Central for Mbekaya 2020 ebra yekoto aba Electoral Commission nya announce ye no NDC for penny for et say then President Yura Mahama Yura Sediketia miami nwa Sami Jamfimo Babontin ebe kache Ghana for say abaye to ye no NDC for edinkunim na ebi kra de Yura Mahama so mo wini 140 seats Yura Sediketia so 141 Sami Jamfi so 141 Ninya echi omo kache omo chita for say the Electoral Commission make bia mo mfi no omo tinsi abontin enko edidi Ebra Electoral Commission announce results ni wiye NDC for antom wase omo de assembly court they receive the kwatia ko gina adakam no emranim for ne busa ne say asem adabadan court say ye wia wa abato no vote awunya ye eyesen ye receive the kwatia ntime nya no ye busa ne say nipa se ne to aba wantime nya no oyedin wo ho eno videos wo ha ye de kire mu in central for enu free wo asema MPP ni ye kan say sabi ntina NDC for pa nim say mu ni nyina so bia ene de ntina mo ka che mo tita for say mo di nkunim na mo ma amanfo tisi abonten a ebidi mra hye mo nsem a police for ene Ghana for mo na mba bi o mo nya hwekra no mo ko de o mo sakeka mo a mo pray bi mo na nyame on prebone ebreduru say ye resedicate ya corporate national chairman okosia ono anu enua mo NDC for ka che mo say omo kwa court no mo ni nyina so bia wo ho empo omo de omo nya so no kra eni ho no ekoma yiru atachuchi kata ema e papa tachuchi kata ka che omo say yanum saa semu pa na mo de kwa court a me de asolo ya mintimi de akiri enu ntina yiru resedicate ya ka say omo kwa court na judge for ni busan say ni dance die wo no wo ka say eni ho no ni nyina fi say no mo ni nyina so bia de me ka kwa kosi ni say eti say Ghana ha ya tena say ma NDC for afom ho adi e won tro ne da dance bebre omoka de omoka ni 2020 anya ne kure no de na Ghana for ye ka fa ho NDC kure ya ye kura koto aba 2024 esa de nsama beto abonten say Electoral Commission epeso wi abenu ema MPP ensama amode koda Electoral Commission say allegations ni nya no up to now say no kure pa say mo nyina so bi wo ha Monfambra na Electoral Commission fu hu moma Central for ehu moma Ghana fu nyire hu say ensemsi na moka enem no moka say sa dance no NDC for famai na sabi obo bi kodu so obi ayebone a it is just fair say the pakon ade a waye no o mama odi be kire no na ma Ghana fu nyire hu sempo ka Electoral Commission NDC for the science sem no kwa komo ana omo ntime yin ano ana NDC for ko demonstration ka Ghana fo nyina eno mbe ya adwen be ne no ka say ade property nti omo call ho demonstration no Electoral Commission nim yes Central for nim MPP for so nim o ye ni free ha Ghana ye wa bakosem Ghana mra eye CI 91 CI 127 ebesesa no ese eba abato ho nsema Electoral Commission true or the true exhibition of voter register ehwe se aye dwumekuo ne bia fonso betimi aba ni petrol mudin e bia fonso betimi aba se ni purpose or transfer the vote e bia kwa ni pa cross voter register nim na se yi omo film true voter exhibition no Electoral Commission etimi correct sa no ma wenyina abakose mo ho 2015 the NDC for year omo kan MPP to sa na money bi Sabre no kan sama ne ye ka kwa ne modu ese the NDC for ne ka efi se ne akọ 2012 election petition ama nsenchene ya de koma court for Ghana for who you know. It was some pass some MPP before can you with him. And the MPP now so any could be to say let my vote count alliance for any other civil society groups. Eka say Sadia any electoral commission and for independent audit team. That's a forensic team. Now your voter register no. Yes, you should. Yes, be cry the case there be voter register and none problems you yes, signing now. No, any electoral commission T abeje kobia na yura VCRAC crap down. Na ekona asem o mka ne se eba mremu a electoral commission kwa na otumi se obeka abato ho asem na ehihye bi e obia no wada na di sa VCRAC crab committee ni hia no NDC for so ba hobi na nipa na odi NDC anim eye yewura asidin ketia na o agina secretary asem a yewura asidin ketia edeto VCRAC crab ene Ghana phone ni anim ne se electoral commission o amamre ene kwan a ofa so a odi na djuma enti sa amamre ne ekwan ne wo ho a yema ne ntena ho na electoral commission adwuma a woye no exhibition a woye no eboa se ba bia mfunso bia obia no etimi correct enti be the MPP for ka se yema independent forensic auditors embra no enyina so bia ni so omunya aka ni nyina wie no anya MPP de nenso so yeji tum se ampa electoral commission no ene body a o sa tumi no na wontimi nka se wontimi nya na adwuma de etim fa nkomo obia e ma asema ye ka no 2015 no ija to esa to true exhibition no normal na high MPP nyina no e de koma electoral commission so omo hwe sa be na nkofo ewu a omodin voter register no ye compile list no e de koma electoral commission enti ye de enim sa asem bi eni ho enti enya ate ho ase se electoral commission ye voter register wie no obi wo ha wonti ase a o petition electoral commission no wate ase no wahwehwem se asema waka no ginaso wo ma na se ginaso nim enti ekoba say 9 years after 2015 what 2024 ade ye nyina ate ase na mu NDC kwa na mu di anim a ye resedi ketia wona na odi anim de na asesa wa ojitu say electoral commission enya exhibition afi de o se there bi yema independent forensic committee emum and emergency electoral commission adwuma enye se bi ekobasa na ekwakoye na atwum na ekwakoye se de bia wo de ena wo ka a echina na obeka bi eno so mboa sa adwuma no oye no through a o ma penny that Ira Mahama in 2015 ebra na MPP ye ka se electoral commission voter register ne no enye no o penny ba bonte eno so hu video eyi kire mo a wo ka che Ghana for ne MPP for say electoral commission odi no ho sabi ena amayoko bi na we share electoral commission adwuma wonye enti asema MPP ye nyina ye busa Ira Mahama ne NDC for say electoral commission di no ho na ese wotase ye na adwuma a wo ka ne 2015 no what has changed then asesa afi de wo ka se the electoral commission adwuma wonye no onye ni ye tiema obi magi electoral commission adwuma enye enti ye MPP ya amayoko a ye tia bemu a yenim se na meboa December 7 enam adwuma pa Ira Akufo-Addo aban ene ni suade hu ayo abamia wo se obedi mama Ghana for de bedi nkunu abato no the NDC for nsem a omo ka no etiefo ene yenwa mo amo central adwuma no ye so ma enye yi na yesrem nyina mo se yenhwe NDC anamo omutu ya anamo a se bi ehu a embo oman no na yenya afo ya no antum ye no man kasa se de omo ye no omunjai na se mo wasem papa bi ka evidence amso mo won mfa mbra bontin mfa ma electoral commission na electoral commission fo hu enesa mabom mo srem se mo pese basabasa ba Ghana eninti na mutu sana mo no medam nyina amase. So we'll invite, we'll give you the opportunity to ask questions. We'll take a bunch of questions from the English media houses and then we'll take the key ones. 3 at a time.